Hey there, folks. Morning. I'm going to try to be a little quieter. Herky's downstairs sleeping right now. It's 6:20 a.m. Monday, April 25th. 6:20. 0 is completion, 2 is understanding, and 6 is intuition. So for me, what that means right now is completely understanding intuition. Um, that's relative to what I want to talk about this morning. Um, I have a few questions I want to ask you. When As you all wake up and get stronger and stronger, you're going to be teaching other people. Okay, that's one of the main reasons why people come to me. They just come in. They're told to spirit guides. They have their own interests. They feel drawn. It's not because of my impeccable speech. um, it's the simple message that I have, the information. It's data, but I can present it in a way that makes it a little bit easier to understand. Um, and the reason why that happens is just because I've had to learn it, live it. I see it, I know it, but I understand it because I've had to go through that to live through it, the experiences. I learned that a long time ago as I was waking up, back when the original male and female was around and they were abusive, but the real fighting hadn't started yet. And they put me through hell. And she said, "Well, the best way to learn something is to learn it the hard way." And I said, "Yeah, but how come you're smiling as you do it to me? I feel you. I feel your energy putting out the same energy that someone has when they smile. Like it was a nasty smile though. Like um, it's amazing all these abilities you have and what you can do with them." Okay, the questions. This is something that many of us wonder, think about. There's no way to really find out, so everybody just, for the most part, almost immediately drops it, just lets it go. Okay, which is maybe better than wasting the whole day trying to figure out something that you don't have the information yet to understand. Um, uh, who are you? What are you? Why are you here? And just one more. What the hell's going on? I mean, really, in this physical world, what the hell's going on? It's insanity. The governments throw chemtrails out there. All of them do. They're all synchronized with this. I wonder why. It's almost like they're all getting the same orders. Gee. It actually, they want to tell you it's to help you. Yeah, there's vitamins in there. They're going to make you stronger, run faster, and healthier, and live to 500 years old. And they're fixing invisible stuff you can't see in the sky, out in space, that protects us. Yeah, you can trust your governments. Yeah, it's a joke. Um, but also, what about the second dimension? What's going on over there? What we call the other side. Some people call heaven, but it's a big. Uh, Thought it'd be a big disclaimer with that one. um, what's going on? How does the other side affect this one? What's We're in a body, but there's one thing we realize: we can be smart and learn something and grab a hold of one certain basic thought process or understanding in a physical sense. But we have to become aware of what's going on everywhere, of who we are. Until you're using all of your brain, how can you really know what your brain thinks about things? How do you know how you feel about things until you're using all of yourself that you have? Don't you need to be putting everything you have into your decisions so that you make good ones for yourself and those around you that you love? Uh, but how do you do that? Everybody talks stuff. folks that can relax you, and they have those symbols, or they can do a dance or something. Hey, whatever it takes to relax and for you to enjoy, cool, awesome. I like some soft music. Um, I haven't listened to any in a long time. um, I just, having said that, I found myself in a different scenario. I'm changing so much these days. It's like when I go to sign the books, I can't really even sign them anymore. I'll try signing some with three initials. JAE stands for J. Arae, Essex. I can't write script anymore. Printing, no problem, but the script, my brain won't function like that. It's just not. I can't help it. Um, I've always been different, but as I'm getting more and more ready to go, more and me's coming out of this body, and it's my physical brain's changing right now. I'm getting cranked on hard. It's nonstop. Um, but anyway, don't you ever wonder who we really are? And the only reason I'm different, I'm here for purpose, and the purpose is you, all of you, not just people, plants, animals, everything. Um, but what about you? I mean, I know almost everyone out there has wondered that before. It's like, especially when you're a child and you're growing up and you're becoming aware of things, aware of the world around you, and it's like, what am I? Okay, I'm flesh around a skeleton with muscles and nerve system and circulatory system, the lungs. Um, you find out about your physical body, but the older you get, you realize there's something else going on. It's like, what is it? What's happening? And then the older you keep getting, the more you have to start dealing with. Got to make money. Got to have better things. Bigger, better, more. Bigger, better, more. Bigger, better, more. Bigger, better, more. That's right. And people wonder why I wear overalls. I enjoy simplicity. My Facebook page. I'm not big on Facebook. Don't like any of that stuff, but it's a tool to use, so I'm using it. Social media is a way to get information out there, but everything's controlled except for what you think, and that's what I'm about. You becoming yourself. Um, anyway, I put something up there about it was president of a country, maybe South American or something country. I don't know. Real nice guy, has a three-legged dog, and he talks about the garbage we build. The country he comes from doesn't have as much money. They can't create all this garbage that we do. That's a blessing for the world. Um, and he talks about how sad it is. But anyway, so a couple of those videos about him came my way, and I posted them on my Facebook. I'm almost never there. People, when you leave messages there, the chances are maybe 2% that I'll see it or be able to answer it. Okay, I can't even read that little print. Um, it's not that I don't care; it's I can't do anything with it, and I'm just too much going. If you want to get a hold of me for a consult or something, just go through YouTube. But I don't have time to answer questions. Y'all find out when you ask me questions, they don't get answered. Okay, I don't have time. I'm sorry. I might pick out 1 in 100, but that's all I can do. Okay, I'm so far behind. I'm just about now. I'm going to go down to the post office today with a ton of packages, and I'm just so happy about it. I'm setting Deanna up and the new website so that they can get that taken care of. It's finally time for that to happen. I can do things on the other side, but I do not control the other side. I'm literally, stuck here in this body. If something needs to be dealt with, usually they'll actually send it at me, push it my way, and I get attacked, and I deal with it. I get rid of it. But it's time for a lot of things to happen. Um, there's only so much. I'm trying to get ready. I'm trying to get everything in place that I can so I can get out of here. Um, and it's just too much. So anyway, uh, who are you? You're a human body. The elements of your physical mass are all found here on the planet. So there seems to be a connection between the physical body and the planet. There is. Planets have a female universal essence in them. Uh, Most of us call the female spirit of this planet Gaia. Uh, when you talk to someone or a spirit, you talk with your heart. There's more to it than just that, but the heart's the biggest part of it. It doesn't so much need a name, but the physical brain, mind, talking, third dimension here, we use names so we can, understand what we're talking about, or who we're talking about, or what we're talking about. Um, so we come from the planet. The bodies come from the planet. We have five different senses, but animals have a sixth sense, and so sometimes is they call the mother's intuition a sixth sense. Numerology, the number six means metaphysical abilities, senses, whatever, but they're abilities. Okay, some of them are sensory. You can actually use your heart to talk to someone. You can use your pineal to do the same. I was in Charlotte, North Carolina. This really nice lady and her daughter let me spend 4 days over there with them, and we set up a gig. I did 41-hour consults in about 3 days, 2.5 days. I was tiring. Anyway, this one young lady, we were trying to talk, and there was a tree full of crows. And they just started, well, no, it wasn't crows. It was something else, some other kind of bird. But they just started yakking crazy, and I told them twice verbally. I told them once to shut up, they shut up. I told them the second time to shut up, they shut up. And the third time, I took my pineal, fired it up real hard, and I hit their pineals, and I, bam, opened up their heads, and I told them to shut up, but I was a little more forceful about it. And they shut up. So the pineal can actually talk, okay? It doesn't open up a vortex where photons and other things flow through there. No, this, folks, it's the field of energy that's everywhere. Okay, that's male source energy, and the energy, what your abilities actually move through the field. Like a fish goes through the ocean is the fish's field that it moves through. That's a very simple analogy. I need those. I need simple analogies, not because I'm talking to dumb people, because I'm just simple. It's all I can do to function like that. But why not put something out there in a way that's simple for people to understand? A lawyer, a doctor, a mechanic, waitress, anybody can understand that. And isn't that the idea? Is when you talk to people and you have something you want them to be able to understand? Why talk about something to say, look at what I know and you don't, I'm so cool? Hell no. What the hell's the sense in that? You talk because you're trying to have a conversation, you're trying to convey thoughts. I want everyone to be able to understand, because this is about everything, not me, everything, okay? So anyway, some people say I say that too much, that it's not about me. I don't care. I'm making a point. There's no telling when someone's going to get into the video, catch a piece of it too. But if the shoe fits, I'll put it on. As long as it's not ice skates and I'm running around hill climbing. Actually, I don't run anymore. Anyway, as I digress. So, we have these bodies, we have abilities, we don't quite understand them. And that brings us to the next question. What are we? What are we? Who are we? It's like we're a physical name, physical body with a physical name, and simple stuff. And then it gets a little deeper. What are we? Blah. What are we? What are the Uh, what's the actual makeup that we are? Okay. Um, what's going on? What's with this metaphysical stuff? How come every once in a while I think of someone and then they call, or I call someone and they say, I was just thinking of you, and it's a friend, they didn't just make it up to be, excuse me, to lie to you and try and sound cool or something. There's people who do that too. But in your heart, you'll know the difference. Um, and don't try to be perfect in anything because there's no such thing. So then you wonder, what is it that I really am? A lot of people are told you're by different metaphysical practitioners. People like to use the word psychic, can't stand it. That's trouble. Every time you say the word psychic, anybody can come up to you and say, "What do you mean psychic? You're not a psychic. What do you what ask how many fingers do I have behind my back?" And you can't tell me you're not a psychic. Um, it's a misused general word. There's metaphysical abilities. Okay, and they don't exist really. What's the mother's intuition? What's that feeling a soldier, policeman, or detective or something has in the back of their head, on their neck, when they feel someone watching? They turn around and usually find someone there. Um, what about all the different metaphysical practitioners that use cards? Don't use cards. Use sticks, uh, um, pendulums, and they get information for you, and it has a whole lot of truth in it. The way you look at it, they say that if you're if you have an ability, if you can do something 50% of the, if you can be right 50% of the time, then you have an ability. That's actually incorrect. It's like it would be more like a 25%, because when you ask a question, it's not a yes and no. There's more to it than that. You have to flow into it more. But as it turns out, when someone settles in and they're awake, they're right 75+% of the time. So there's proof that this is real. So where does it come from? How does it happen? You know, how does where does it come from? Do you have spirit guides telling you? Do you find it and see it yourself? How do you find out? Is it magic? Magic's a word that describes something we're not aware of yet, as far as its functionality, its origin. Excuse me. Creation is beginning your origin. This book literally tells you who you are, what you are, where you came from, how it all started, what was there. That'll help you answer those two questions and more. Well, now let's get to the why. Why are you here? What do we know about our birth? We are born, we come out, and we start becoming aware. Need a lot of diapers and milk. Drive our parents crazy. Um, Never can get what we want. Most of the time, start becoming aware of what we can't do. And that's really frustrating for us. Then we're all the time seeing spirit guides and elves, fae and stuff running around. Our quote unquote invisible friends. So there's a lot going on, but why? Why did we get put in a body, and how did that even happen? What did we choose this? Did someone just do it to us? Is this the first life we've ever had? Did it just? And where did we come from? If that's the case, Joey, you got any ideas? Oh, by the way, Joey, I got your stuff to put together here just a little bit. I got to do some extra wrapping. Um, I made you a sphere that I'm throwing in there too. Okay. Sorry it took so long. Anyway, so So what's going on with this stuff, man? Why did we literally ask for this? So many people say, they say that we're here to learn, and that I wrote my own life. I didn't ask to get abused like this. Um, Sylvia Brown used to say. I'll mention Sylvia a lot. She had very little of a barrier between the two halves of her brain. It was very strong. And Iena is the spirit guide that was with her when she was here. She made up her own name, Francine. Um, but Iena's cool, very strong. She really helped Sylvia out a lot. Sylvia was smart enough to listen to her, and plus Sylvia was strong. She had good abilities. She's a young soul. Really cool. Folks, when you're in a body, you're not you. You're mostly you, but not you. You know, you mixed up with another spirit that came from the planet originally. Some of them are cool, some of them not. They're all they're very little negativity, but they got attitudes and stuff sometimes. Most of them are really nice though. They came from Gaia, but that was at the beginning. At the beginning of a consistent life format here. And that is in book 2, Creation's Journey Evolving into Paradise. There's 5 different ages in the back of the book. Hey, listen, I put different charts and stuff in there, the different forms of essence and souls and stuff, the different types, percentages of negativity in them, the new clean source energy from Lillian Arae. See, the very back says, here's some additional information for you. But here's the one I wanted to talk about, the Earth and Ages timeline, approximate dates. Initial life and colonization here started well over 11 million years ago, which it did. So the first age was about 10.572 to 8.3 million years ago. It started 10.572 million years ago, and then it ended about 8.3 million years ago. Okay, how do I know that? First off, I see things, know things, remember things. Okay, I'm really different. A lot of you know that. Okay, I'm no better than a stick in the mud. That's just what I am. It's my job. I'm a janitor, and I do my work, and I take pride in what I do. And I happen to really love everything that's around me and care about it. So anyway, what's inside me, I call it it is the main focal point of Arae. But I just call it Arae. But it made the red race. Myself and my female counterpart made the red race here 5 times. And the first time was 10.572 million years ago. It was in Atlantis. Lemuria was here first. It was colonized by, that's in the book too, Lemuria and Atlantis, all the ages, all the sinking and where they went, where they are, all that stuff's in the second book. When Michelle was selling my books, she sold them for $44.99. I'm selling that book for $34.99. 44 is too much. But folks, that information is nowhere other than that book. It's not a whoopee-doo, it's just a statement. Anyway, so when it was time to actually have a race put here, it was bringing bodies for the souls to come into. It was to establish physical bodies here on the planet, and souls would go and be put into the bodies as they would copulate and create children. The Adams and Eves, we were very different. We actually made our own bodies. Okay, the different colors came from the different color skins came from the different materials. Red Adam and Eve 5 times in Atlantis. Okay, the skin color came from the red volcanic ash. Atlantis was full of volcanoes. The kind of crust of Atlantis, the continent, wasn't very thick, and it was very eventually torn up by those pits that they're using to power things up. So anyway, so what is going on? Why are we here? We had a hard life. Most of us have had a hard life. Some people seem to have a nice one. Uh, did we just have one life or what? What's this perfect, all loving, all forgiving God that created hell to torture stuff forever because he's pissed at him? And where's mom? Where's mom God where there's a father God? Sylvia Brown was talking about that again, and that got taken out. When Sylvia died, she was 77 years old, and 7 is the number of spiritual knowledge, and 2 sevens is very strong spiritual knowledge. And I swear that's Sylvia, man, right to the T. She's as energy. when the body dies and the spirit comes out, your spirit, okay, ascension energy, with a huge energy field coming off of you. She literally is floating around. The Akashic records, what they call the Akashic records. It's just all it is the field. There's a part of the field where you can go into and absorb energy. You can absorb knowledge, data, by absorbing the energy. Going into the energy. So we have to figure out if we've been here just this one time or many times. You're going to find out, of course, we've been here many times. Sylvia Brown, again, she used to say that she was sometimes she'd look at someone and say, "You're an old soul. Wow, you've had 52 lives." All she could ever see was the life someone had on this planet, and this planet's very new. It's also very strong. In the terms of aggressiveness, this planet's strong. You need to be strong to be here. So that we have had a lot of lives. When a little bit of proof on that. When you talk about past life aggression and stuff like that, going into past lives, you start seeing things and figuring things out. But sometimes when someone is supposed to put some information out there and really let people know about it, the other side makes sure that they can that certain events happen, which will help them. One of these times was when Dr. Brian L. Weiss, who's an awesome individual. It's when he had an Asian lady, I believe she was Chinese, could not speak a word of English. He was going to be like the head up the psychiatric division of Columbia University or something. I don't know exactly what. If you want to quote me, make sure you put the or something in there. If not, I guess you're not quoting. Anyway, he was a very good psychiatrist. He wasn't aware. He's solar plexus oriented. He wasn't aware of how he was using his metaphysical abilities to help people. About the strongest metaphysical field in your body is solar plexus, because it is part of the core, very strong part of it. The heart energies like touching the core, but it's off of it. The solar plexus is actually in the core, not completely, but a little more than half of the solar plexus energy is actually inside the core. When the bodies were made, like when the Adamics came here and made the bodies, literally, and before the Adamics, there were others coming here making bodies from souls, in essence and stuff. Anyway, when you made the bodies, the spirit from the planet would come up to you, the two of you together, and you have to get help from Gaia. Would actually pull up material from the planet, and then make the body, and it finishes coming in right where the solar plexus is. Okay. I actually went back and watched that happen when I made the first Red Atom body here. And the Adamics, what they look like, if you take one, that movie Avatar with the 10-foot blue guys, if you shrink them down to 5 foot, make them red, for the red Adamic race, the skin color from the volcanic ash, make them 5 foot, but very strong, very powerful. And then we did have big eye teeth and everything else, 5 fingers, just very, very strong. And our abilities were incredibly strong. Telepathy and everything, big time. Some of us telekinetic. Darn it. It's just my energy messing with my back. So anyway, um, man, it's. I try not to break off and go too far away from the main topic, but there's just so much that everything relates to. Um, that, believe it or not, is another important reason for these two books I wrote. And if you do decide to get the books, awesome. It's information for you, okay? Consider getting the first book. If you only get one book, get the first book. Because if you get the second book and start reading it, you're really going to get lost, because I talk about things that, you need to see the first book first and what different things are, and it explains what the different things are. And then in the second book, I just mention it something, and then you're like, what is this? What is that? I did try to go back to it a little bit. The editors were pushing me harder to do it, and I'm like, no, I don't have the time. The first book's 134 pages. The second one is 412, and it was going to be about 600. I had to cut it way down. But it should have been actually 6 books instead of one, or 6 books instead of 2. Anyway, so I'm leaving a lot of gaps. That's okay. You're going to fill those in later. I'm not doing it intentionally. It's just when I start talking, there's so much I want to tell you about, but there's so much to tell you about that it goes on and on. It's hard to connect the dots unless you can start at one central point and then move outwards from there. Anyway, so the bodies come from the planet. It appears we've had past lives. So I was talking about Dr. Brian L. Weiss. The thing about the past life issue, he didn't have any faith. He never really thought much and cared much about thinking about past lives and stuff. He couldn't prove it, so why bother with it? And then this Asian lady from China could not speak a word of English. She came with her interpreter to have a session with Dr. Weiss. And they sat down and started talking. She had a problem with her arm. There was no physical issue. There's just no reason why she couldn't use her arm. It was messed up. So the next thing you know, they're having a talk about this and that. The interpreter's going back and forth with them. And so Dr. Weiss said, okay, just relax. And he got her to relax and just float down into herself. Okay, the stuff that I tell you about relaxing and floating in yourself, that's basically how he does it. Okay, he's got it. I'm a little bit different, but not much. Okay, and I consider him, he's the best I've ever heard, and he's right on the money. Anyway, so they're talking, and he said, okay, go back to when your arm started hurting you. And then she started talking about being a young child, and Dr. Weiss said, okay, well, what's around you? And she's talking about being in a room and her arm hurt. And then he asked her, okay, what happened? What, did you fall? What happened? And she said, nothing. It started hurting. And then Dr. Weiss, this is where he got a surprise. He said, okay, I want you to relax now. Take some deeper breaths. Flow down in yourself. Relax a little more. Now, go back to the time when you hurt your arm. And what he was trying to do is get her to go back, like another couple of weeks or month or something, or a year, whatever it was. He figured it'd just be a few days or a couple of weeks. And all of a sudden, she started talking English. She started, speaking English. And she was talking about when she was there was a danger and whatever, but she was trying to run and she hurt herself. I see her attachment to the San Francisco earthquakes and fires. There's fire and everything all over the place. So she started talking English, and then the funny thing, then the interpreter started talking back to Dr. Weiss, and Chinese. Dr. West going, no. Now shut up. I got this. It's English. You know, he didn't say shut up, but he's not like that. Um, excuse me. So anyway, there was his proof that we've had other lives, that she had other lives, and if heard, why not anyone else? And then he started working on it more and more, and finding out what's going on, and people were having physical problems that had come about from stuff that had happened in previous lives. So, and why do we have Why do we have that issue with some kind of pain or trauma or accident, feeling hangover from a past life that actually, physically maims us or changes us, influences us in a strong manner while we're having another life in another body. Why does that happen? Because when you're out of body, after you finish a life, when you're out of body on this planet, you need to be out of your body about 100, 150 years, depending on how severe your life was, how much abuse you would have been put through. So, and no one was doing that. You were made not to. You were pushed not to, which has caused all kinds of problems, and it's another part of why things happened. Anyway, so it's becoming more and more apparent that we do have multiple lives, and have been many. When I talk to people sometimes that are Christian, I said, well, the Bible talks about, I can't stand the Bible, don't like to even say the word. It's all your religions are just full of bunk. So I said, well, even your Bible, if you go to Matthew 17 verses, what is it, 9? Matthew 17 verses 13 through 9, what is it, 9 through 9 to 13 or something? I can't remember now. Matthew 17 verses 9 through 13. Something like that. Where JC's walking down the hill, and he's with a couple of disciples, and they were talking about what had happened at the top of the hill, where they saw, I think they saw John the Baptist, not John the Baptist, there was Elijah, some other stuff, some other folks, and one of the disciples said, I thought that Elijah was coming back again, after having died, that he was coming back again and fix things, make things straight. And then JC said he did, but they did not know him, so they had their way with him. And what then the disciple actually immediately knew that he was saying that the spirit inside Elijah came back as John the Baptist, and nobody knew who he was, so they killed him. It wasn't. He was never going to come back and fix things. It wasn't going to be allowed. That's what the original first being, male and female, wanted. And by the way, the spirit that was in Elijah, and the same spirit was also in John the Baptist. That's reincarnation, number one. That's reincarnation. And by the way, the spirit inside those two bodies, the spirit that was inside both those two bodies, is Paul Cherick. He's the one taking this other stuff over. We've all had lives where we were of all the different religions, monks and stuff like that. Even though we don't believe in that stuff, we had lives like that. And remember, there used to be the first original angels. That when you're in a body, I don't care what you are. When you're in a body and you had one of those angels running you, you were messed up. Until I kept getting stronger and stronger, and the original male and female had already been dealt with, and the other strong stuff, then shortly thereafter it was time for me to deal with those original first angels. And this, if you want to think of them as what we see, as what pictures are made of angels, like a human body with wings coming out, it's like they take the wingtips, go straight inside your crown, go through the upper crown, middle crown, and the lower crown, and then literally just, run you. So they can make, even though you understand religion is a farce, when you're in a body, you're going to do what you're told, and you can't remember everything anyway. These bodies are made to keep you dumb, as to keep you dulled out, to dull your senses. Um, so anyway, so we do have lives. So what's going on with the? Why are we here? What's going on with the whole scenario? People say we're here to learn. Average life someone's had is well over 100 million. How many things can you do? Even if your life was only 5 years and you had 100 million of them, how many things can you learn? I mean, how? Um, no, you're not here to learn. You go in a body because when you come out, you're stronger, okay, and your body, your spirit develops while it's in a body. So the first, yeah, sorry, bird said something really cute. Uh, I just said something back. Very sweet, very beautiful. Anyway, uh, so anyway, we've had a lot of lives. We come here hoping to get, most everyone does. I don't, but anyway, come here to grow, to get stronger, to develop your energy. When the souls were first created, like everything else, when first created, it came out as an orb of energy, and then vibrate, and then poof, become male and female. Okay, that's the way the original first being, made things like that when it did it for itself to have company. So anyway, uh, there's where your spirit is, and it's just like a malleable orb, two malleable orbs floating around. You blow a bubble in one of those little things, you dip it in and blow the bubble, whatever, and you know how it moves a little bit. That is basically what you look like, but energy, and it's not a rigid frame. It kind of moves around a little bit. So anyway, then as you go into bodies and have lives, over time it makes you stronger. The next thing you know, one life you come out of your body, and then coming out of the body, you come out, and then all of a sudden you open up. And when you do that, then your basic energy is solar plexus field, and then you have three different focal points within your energy. And those three different focal points are brain, heart, and base chakra emotions. Okay, and then the solar plexus is the whole body. And then it's never happened with a soul, but there is some source that was so strong to start with and so big, and then by having so many lives, most most essence. I meant to say essence. I said with source it was Lily and Arae, and that we're the biggest and the strongest. But anyway, there's a ton of essence having lives. They had essence had an average of 1 trillion lives before the souls came out, and they were also much bigger than and stronger than soul energy. So spirit, sentient energy. So some of those fields, when they would change and that field would grow, that it would start putting out more energy. Next thing you know, the inner part, it starts going inside itself and forming like a little nucleus as the body keeps expanding, getting bigger and bigger, and then the outer energy becomes more and more sentient. It's sentient, but it's not as intelligent, strong, and focused as the small point in it. And eventually, that small point inside will break away. It doesn't hardly ever happen much. It has though. There's different ways that happens. Let's just leave that alone. The main thing is that it does. So the idea is to get as strong as you can and try and develop yourself, become a bigger, better you. So that's why you're in a body doing this stuff. That's why you went in a body. As soon as you go in a body, it's instant Dullville. The physical mass slows down vibrations. People say, I want to ascend, I want to ascend. Every time you die, you ascend. That's ascension. It's another word for death, physical body death. When you come out and you're the real you again. So, what's going on? Why is all this stuff happening? What's the reason for this? Everything came from the original first being, male and female. What's up? Okay, what's up with this? What's the reason? They're the ones that created, they're the ones that separated parts of themselves. They didn't actually create you. They did by pulling different pieces of themselves apart and setting it aside. That's how they created you. The what we call the universe, the third dimension, is part of the third dimension. There's more universes in it now, but this physical dimension, they created that from physical mass that already existed. They didn't just poof magic. Okay. Why'd they do that? Well, like I said earlier, the original first being, when it was floating around the first dimension, it got lonely. It was the first being. It had no one to talk to, relate to, or anything. And it just happened to be 27.5% negative due to the amount of heavy particulate matter it pulled into it. So that got pulled into the other 5 energies that were mixing together, causing the creation of sentient energy. It just happened. There was no intelligence anywhere making it happen. It just happened. And there's, like I've said before, there's 4 new ones in there growing now. So, why? They wanted company, so they split. They got so lonely. They wanted company. They split themselves into 2 different. It split itself into 2 different parts and had male and female, which turned out to be male and female. That's what we call male and female. Now, that way you'd have company. Now the idea was to have more company. So they separated more parts of themselves, but did it a little differently. And that's how you start to get all the different fields. Again, all that information in a books. Okay? Bada boom, bada bing. That's one of the main reasons it was so important. Like, how did everything start? Where'd you come from? You need to know that, don't you? I mean, you don't have to have it to go through life. But the more you know about yourself, and I can tell you stuff, okay? But when you start to relax and open up and become stronger, become the real you, you're going to see it for yourself. Then you have your own truth. Okay? A teacher can give you an assignment, say, read these 3 pages in a book. But when you read the book and you start to understand what's in it, that's when you have some knowledge, some wisdom. Okay? It's just data until then. So it's really important for you to be as smart as you are, meaning use all of your abilities, your feeling, your seeing, your gut intuition, put everything together and awaken yourself to become aware of everything around you. And then you're going to find out the information in those books is true. It's not because I'm so great or something. I'm not. Okay? Why do you think I call myself the janitor? Why do you think I'm dressed like this? Okay? I like it. I love it. It's comfortable. You know? Don't do this. People would say, don't do this, don't do that. I said, why? Jay, you say too much and you die. I said, so what? Good. Good. It's not about me. Damn. Some people just don't get it. They're so busy about, you got to be this, you got to be that, more, or make more. It's sad. So, what's been going on is that the original first being male and female have created, made, separated, and thereby making sounds better, all these other smaller energy pieces, and then they've been putting you through lives, abusing the hell out of you, making your energy bigger. So just like them, when they put their energies back together to make more, they released 1/3 of their energy. and it went out and separated into smaller pieces, and then you had more stuff. So they wanted two parts of the same spirit, the two spirit halves of whatever soul or whatever, just individual ones. They wanted to grow them as big as they could, and the biggest ones they were going to put together, put in one of the new universes that's waiting to come to life. It is alive, but I mean to get filled up, and then put them over there, and then release a third of their energy. The bigger they are, the more they release. Okay, instead of 100 million, there might be 800 million. Okay, whatever. Um, so that being done, then there's more. Creation's bigger. Their family's bigger. What do they want for their family? They don't think family. They think numbers. They think units. Well, they were thinking they're dead, but that's what they were thinking is units. Excuse me. I know you can hear that slurping. So this is it a family unit? No, it's an applause unit. It's a worship unit. They wanted more attention. They wanted more. They wanted to be. They were actually going at each other, wanting more attention and praise than the other one. And folks, a lot of you know me for years now. Some of you just running in. I'll pop it in. Excuse me. Oh, sorry, I'm somewhere else right now. It's funny we have an audience. Excuse me. Okay. Uh, um, Someone just popped in, um, and I told him I'd talk to him later. Sorry, I should have just turned the video off when I did that. Um, okay. uh, oh, by the way, when you start awakening, you can talk with other people. Telepathy is much easier than you think, especially when you're talking with our friends and our family in space. They're incredibly strong. They're already developed. When parents are aware, awakened, and then have children and help them start awakening ever since they're little babies, things just get crazy. That's why I say the first 100 years is how things really take off nuts. Anyway, the original first being male and female were. What was I saying? Oh yeah, they were creating applause, like a praise machine. Okay, they were getting jealous of each other, each one wanting more praise than the other. Oh, come on, man, that's sick. If something was worth you giving it praise, the first question I want to ask you is, why would it want it? If something really cared about you and wanted to nurture you, be your buddy, your friend, care for you like a parent, what, big brother, sister, if something was like that, why would it want you to praise it? Hopefully you've had parents that love you. Did they make you bow, go to your knees before every time you came in the house? Or every time you saw them, go in front of them and bow? Or give them money? Or praise? Oh, thank great parents of the house. No. My second question is, why would they even allow it? Why the hell would anything that cared, that was worth that thing, that kind of attention, why would it even allow it? Because it should want things not to be about them. Because it's not about anyone. It's about everyone. It's about everything. Anyway, those are some very simple, short questions. They're also very important. Those of us that are waking up are curious about that. People float all over the internet trying to find stuff. That's how most everybody finds me. And then, word of mouth. Um, so many people saying so much stuff, and all these mediums that call themselves mediums that talk with the Ashtar Sky Command, Space Command, and all this other stuff. It's like some people can feel and touch and talk with them. Corey Good's one of them. Corey Good is an awesome, loving man. If you can actually see and feel, if you're awake, I want to know how you can look at him and not appreciate him. I can't. He's cool. I have said before that some of the information he puts out isn't quite 100% accurate, but that's because he does get messed with a little bit. You got to remember, these folks that are the folks that he's kind of working for, doing this thing, they're really cool. Very close friends of mine, very close, very dear to my heart. Actually, Source family. A few of them are actually Source. Corey's a really cool soul. Incredible, strong heart energy and incredible pineal. And he has some guy he calls Ram T or something, whatever. It's my buddy Ta'ir. Same person. I don't know. They're called Blue Avians. They're actually a little bit different, but I don't want to talk about that. It's like these beings are really cool. They're in physical bodies, but the bodies are a little scary when you first see them. So they're producing a nice body for everyone to see. But they're incredibly strong telepaths. Very, very benevolent. They have helped save the human race on this planet 4 times now, and they're still doing it, so it's really 5 times. So, can't say enough about them. Anyway, this has been long enough. I just wanted to toss some stuff your way. These are important questions. Who are we? What are we? Where did we come from? What's going on? How did this happen? Why did it happen? What do we like out of body? Do we want that? How many lives do we have? What's our energy composition? What's our body composition? We can figure out. You can figure out the other 2. Folks, love you. I do have that seminar. Classes. Some classes coming up April 30th at 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's just a couple hours. It's $125, and the same class is going on at both 11 and 5 o'clock on May 8th, and it's the metaphysical brain. It's the name of the class. I tell you about the different organs and glands inside your body, your brain, that produce certain metaphysical abilities. But I'm also going to talk about how it flows through your head. Okay, people, you won't find this anywhere else. Not like Whoopi J, but you're not going to find this anywhere else because people don't know. I'm the one that goes in your head and does this stuff. Okay, Burju and Paul, they're doing this too now. It's just what I am. I've been doing this for years. I see it. I flow it. I want you to know what's going on. I told you many lives, mostly my Indian lives, that I would come back and I would tell you what's going on the other side and here and everything else. Okay, two of those lives that are really strong were Pahana and the Quetzalcoatl. I can't hardly even say that properly, but Pahana and Quetzalcoatl. Hopi Indian. Pahana was my last one. Anyway, the life that I had where I was talking very strongly about coming back here There's a legend about Pahana somewhere about the white brother from the east, or yeah, the white brother from the east is going to come back and bring us the information. We'll know him by the stones he carries and everything, and there's a big thing about the stones. I barely got over 20 miles away from the Hopi village when it took off. I knew I was going to be killed anyway, and it was on the road, and I got stopped by this whatever, like a conquistador or something, Spanish guy, and he had three Navajo. Two of them were well, one of them was pure Navajo. The other two were part Navajo and something else. Anyway, they gutted me, killed me, stomped on everything, took it, threw it away, broke it. Um, Bahana didn't make it too far east. Um, anyway, I kept saying I'd come back and just tell you. That's all. It's my job. It's part of my job. And I'm almost done. So, folks, I'm just trying to leave you with some stuff that'll help. If you don't like it, good. Turn it off. If you didn't like it, you turned it off before now anyway. So, when you know how your brain operates, what parts of it do, and during the class, when we talk about the pineal, we'll stop for a minute. I'm going to go in every one of y'all's heads, pineal glands. These classes are going to be small, 4, 5, 10 people in a class. Okay, I'm making it like that for a reason. Okay, that way we have good one-on-one time. But when I go inside your head and I actually activate that gland, no matter, you might feel it in the stomach because your solar plexus. The thing is, I'm going to hit that gland, and when I hit that gland, you're going to feel a feeling in your body. Chances are real good anyway. Chances of you not is maybe 10%. But what I'm hoping to do here is get you to understand when you feel that feeling that's what I want you to know what's really going on. You feel a feeling somewhere. When I hit your pineal, then when you feel that feeling there, the chances are really good that's your pineal that's being activated, okay? Or it's when you're trying to see something and all of a sudden you get this feeling in your gut, well, I want you to know it's your pineal that's doing it. And the thing is, people ask questions, okay? That's why I'm here, among other things, but that's why we're together, so I can inform you if anything. And once the class is over, it's only a couple hours, but when it's about over, or when we finish discussing the topics, if we have extra time, then you can ask me whatever. I'll answer personal questions. So I'll always do everything I can for you. It's what I am, what I do, but I like it. I like doing that. So anyway, folks, love you, man. Have a good one, and see you soon.